Hey folks, Troy Dooley over here at MLM Help Desk. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's been a phenomenal day down here at the beach. Spring breakers are in. We're having fun. Doing an update from yesterday's red flag alert on that free thing, Seth Frazier and his partner's business. Usually when we do just red alerts, all it is stating, hey, here's some concerns. Be cautious. Keep us posted. That's it. It's nothing major. Well, you know what? It seemed like all hell broke loose. Major players in this profession wanted to basically get their danders lit up. And, it's one thing when a company owner calls up and says, hey, I got concerns. And that happens all the time. Seth called me yesterday. But his conversation was so polite, so professional. Matter of fact, I got to tell you, I got to brag on Seth. And I don't know Seth. Yesterday was the first day we've met. We've communicated maybe in passing on Facebook. He's been a friend. I've been a friend, stuff like that. But he called me, I called him back. And he said, Troy, I really want to talk to you, but, man, my partner's having some family issues back home. He's got a flight to Florida. I really got to focus on him and some stuff we got to get taken care of. I thought that was cool. You know, you put your friends, yeah, you're going to put your business ahead of some whacked-out dude on the telephone, but he's putting his friend up there, trying to make sure they've got everything taken care of as his friend cruises and does some family stuff. That's pretty cool. But every time Dick and Harry and Sally came out of the woodwork, wanting to call me, it seemed like everything but a white boy because I stepped on somebody's toes. And I got to tell you, I really don't care who attorneys are, who the consultants are, who the top distributors are. I mean, that'd be kind of unethical of me just to stop reporting on specific companies if I've reported on companies, even some red flag issues with companies that have paid us consulting fees because we want to make sure the information's out there. Now, I've definitely reported positive reports whenever one of the companies that we've paid for our consulting, our analytical or our PR work has done great things. We are in that business. But in this case here, this is nothing against Seth. This was nothing against the company. It's sure not against the people that are behind the scenes that we don't know until yesterday who they were. It was about be cautious. That was it. The regulatory attitude lately has been, and I say lately, man, this goes back to 2007, 2006. It seems like where the companies, the regulators started going after portal companies. Every niche out there, they've gone after. First, it was the auto surf industry, and that was a scam without a doubt. But a lot of networkers joined in on those things, made a lot of money, got pissed off whenever we said anything about it. And then what happened? The last one, ADS, Ad Surf Daily, got nailed. $50-some-odd million Secret Service took from them. But everybody wanted to say, oops. Well, you know what? This is my concerns. You can't wash this stuff under the rug. We saw what happened to Burn Lounge. Burn Lounge had a pretty cool concept. You know, here's all these little bands. Everybody's wanting to rock out. You own your own music store. You get a part of the band type deal. I mean, it's been a while. What happens? The feds come in and pop them. We're still waiting for that report. Then the latest round seemed to have been the travel industry, specifically YTB gets hit. Millions of dollars paid in fines. A portal. Now what do you see? You see Fortune High Tech, a portal company. Regulators are going after them. We look at these things. You study it out. This isn't about hiding something. This isn't about giving people a chance to fix issues. This is about showing the issues. A lot of times, we learn this in the military. You're busting your butt. You're in the middle of the mission. Well, sometimes it takes an outside view. Somebody from the outside's got to look and say, hey, you know what? I see a problem. There's a landmine up ahead. You need to be prepared for that. Okay, 10 foot, we're in. You know how to maneuver around it. So yesterday's report was basically saying, here's some red flags. These could be issues. Regulatory attitude sucks. They might come and look at this. Now, I got to say, Seth, awesome. We talked. He shared a little bit more about what's behind the scenes, shared about some of the deals that they have. His consultant, pardon me, I got to get a drink. Been doing this all day. His consultant talked to me today. We played phone tag all day yesterday. And she's just a little firecracker. I love her to death. I'm just getting to know her at a different setting as a board member and a colleague over at the AMP Association. and a great gal, and she shared with me what was going on, shared her concerns, and I shared back mine, and we found out we really are on the same page all the way across the board. Gave a few suggestions they might want to look at. I don't know if that'll work, but some ideas. But it's the outside people that I respected, probably still do to a certain degree, although I know a little bit more about where they stand. And I just shook my head, because the average distributor needs to know what they're looking at. Even top leaders. Think about this. Let's say that you're a 6-7 figure earner in your company. You see this little hot potato over here called That Free Thing. You join it. And because of your influence, you start cranking all the way to the top. And man, you're up here. You're one of the big stars. And it doesn't matter if your name's on the account or not. I'm going to show you a check of mine here in a minute that Jim Gilhouse and I have, and our names aren't on this. It doesn't matter. If the regulators come in and they say you've been a big player, guess what? Your name's getting dragged through the mud too. So when we do red flag alerts, it's to say, hey, this could be a high-risk situation. Pay attention. Be cautious. Join at your own risk type deal. That's what yesterday's was. Now, my concerns have not gone away. Even after what Seth shared with me, which I think, as I said yesterday, the business model's sound. I don't have a problem with that. The compensation plan and how people might try to manipulate the compensation plan, that is my concern. That's what the regulators will look at. The back office side of things down there in the compliance areas where it says, hey, for $199 you can join just here and you don't have to be part of the network marketing side. These are my words here. I'm paraphrasing. You can go to the original post and see it. The fact that the average distributor will not even make the $9.95 back, but yet on the opportunity page it says you can make up to $25,000. That $24,990.05 discrepancy is what the regulators will go after based on their current attitudes. Those are my concerns. Seth and his crew, he's got a great crew around him. This isn't his first rodeo that he's been out on. He had that freebie company in the past, and they had some software issues, I think it was, and I think he's a learner. I think he's grown, and the fun part is he never let his vision go away. He's the freebie man, and that's what he's pushing. And this is a business model that's viable. It's just those little things, those landmines that you may not see that somebody up here will. And I had a few people say, well, you should have called him first. You should have shared with him what you were going to do. You should have asked him. We're not nailing him on anything. These are bird's eye view. When you're on the outside looking in, I'm not part of his paid team. I'm not part of his team at all. I'm just an ambassador for the industry. If I see red flags and I see a bunch of people going and top leaders are saying, hey, what do you think about this? I've got to it's a judgment call. Here's my opinion. And opinions are like noses. I started to say another word there. They're like noses. Everybody has one. Okay? Now, I did get a little pissed off, though. It's funny how when you go and you talk about a company, people that have all kinds of agendas, not bad agendas, they just have their own agendas. They want to start pointing fingers. Well, hey, maybe we should disclose that you got an iPad from Revolution. Actually, I got the iPad. It was Revolution. It said it on the back. Derek Bros. He was the CEO at the time. I said, yeah, well, that's a payoff. $500? Let me tell you something. You need to really check out my background and find out payoff's got to be a lot more money than $500. That didn't even pay my monthly house payment. But it is a nice iPad. And if you look at the Revolution videos that we've shot last year, you actually see where we say, hey, man, thank you for this. This is awesome. Irritates me. We're not supposed to disclose information, concerns to the average distributor is what it seems like. Now, this didn't come from Seth, nor did it come from his consultant. Of all people, if somebody's going to be pissed, you'd think it would be them, and instead they say, can we carry on an intelligent conversation? Heck yeah, man, let's talk about it. And it was funny because both of them, Seth, publicly, man, I understand. His consultants, Troy, it definitely wasn't one of your regular videos where no, man, I have nothing against the company. I do have major concerns about what could happen, so let's tighten it up a little bit. Make it easy. I'm not saying take the opportunity away. I'm saying just make sure that you're covering all your bases, adds a few things. That's it. I had somebody else say, well, Troy, what about that diamond executive position that you have in longevity? to everybody wants to point. You know, I've got a position too over in that Wow Mobile because Randy Jeffers gave me one so I could look in the back office. I've made zero money there. You know, I'm sure there's other companies we've got positions in too, especially where I use their products. But in this case, it's a true statement. You know, when Accelerate went down last year, Jim Gilhouse was a distributor in that company. I joined that company, wanted to use the product, had never built anything over there. I wasn't there long enough to build anything. And we did some work with Longevity. We did some work with Mr. Chenault and some of the players, and we were given a great grandfathered position. Here you can see this. Jim's company name's on here. It's called Soaring Eagle. I love the certificate. And I don't know, I guess that was February of last year. The first checks that came in, I think there were 200, 300, 400 bucks, 500 bucks each. I mean, it was like 200, 300, 200. Those first checks, I endorsed them and sent them over to Marcy Cook at American Consultants because I owed her money. You can actually listen to some of Tom Chenault's shows because Marcy talked about that time we were going through some financial stuff, getting custody of our grandbaby, traveling all the time, and she made mention of she knew that I did that and she appreciated it. But since that, and that last check to her, I think that was I know it was through July. These checks here, you can see, if you can look there, that's from 8/15, 45 bucks, to this last month, $5.96. And I can tell you, there's one for $9, $6, $9, $14, $14. Sorry, guys, I'm not getting rich under one of the top leadership positions in Longevity. But that position, you can call our attorney, Kevin Thompson, will tell you that we've been discussing with him, trying to figure out the best way to form a nonprofit so that we can, when we've been awarded stuff like this, that we can put it in the nonprofit corporation so that when we know that there's issues kind of like Japan where there's network marketers over there that need help, we'd have money to give to them. You know, with me, it's full disclosure. I'll take the doors right off the closets. I don't care. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Will we disclose things? You bet we will. Right here. You know, I'm just sad that, you know, here we are. You got this diamond executive position, and it's, you know, it's worth $5 a month. I mean, you don't work the business, you don't get paid, and we don't work that business, you know, whatsoever. See, whether it's that free thing, whether it's Monavi, whether it's Monetium, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Bellamora. That's going to be the next one that people are going to be asking about. All we want to do is report. We're not here to judge. If anybody digs deep enough into my background, I've told y'all before, you'll find everything you want. Assault with a deadly weapon, attempted vehicular homicide with the intent to kill, you know, federal fraud. I mean, you can find it all. That's what happens when you're a bounty hunter. Okay, we're an open book. So if you realize that when we look at companies, it's for the betterment of the industry as an ambassador. It's not to go out here and hurt people. I don't get paid to talk. I don't get paid not to talk. When we do the videos, we're doing them specific. When we do the red alerts, when we do the newscasts, that's what it is. Sometimes when we do our individual companies, we really plug in there. We're working with their PR team. We really want to put a good third-party piece together. But at no time ever do you get to pay us off. Do you get to send us an iPad or send us a few $1,000s and say, please keep your mouth shut? It's not like that. If there's issues, we're going to report it. Because although there's some people in the industry, we've got another video we'll put up tonight maybe on this, that think that there's no even playing field anymore, I disagree. Little companies getting started like that free thing, as long as they can tighten it up and keep it going straight, are there for the average distributor. What's $10 a month, somebody says? The money that you can save, that could be well worth it. But if the compensation plan gets your butt in trouble, then it's gone. And that's our concerns. Live life like it's an epic adventure. We'll see you at the top.